Somebody, I think there's did a local radio station, somebody tweeted, I see so many millions of things. I think literally just very matter-of-factly, I don't know if it was a bit, I don't know if it was a host or it was a newscast, referred to that body of water just in passing as the Gulf of America already just this week.
Well, they're already in the United States. They're already drawing up maps and stuff to reflect the change. But it's a little unclear only because there are other countries that get to have a say, apparently. And I think the UK has already said, we're not doing it. Somebody pointed out, somehow Britain.
It would seem like any country that borders on the body of water probably has a somewhat greater vested interest.
Plus, we stopped caring what they think about anything since about 1780.
Didn't we fight a war to have to stop paying attention to them?
Yeah, we don't listen to them anymore. Incidentally, my first day with my new setup in the studio went fairly well.
How did it go? Are you all right?
I had one bad moment with a caller because I had Julie Kelly on the show earlier in the week, and we were talking about the presidential pardons. And incidentally, full stop, no more pardon talk on the Mike Gallagher show.
Why?
Because every time we talk about Trump's pardons, it's a distraction that the Democrats and the Trump haters love. Because, look, I mean, let me mention Grady Judd, for example, yesterday said he didn't love the idea that there were pardons for anybody who was violent towards police officers. And, but it just gets in trouble because then people get aggravated because it's like, well, what about all the Black Lives Matter riots? And that's why, I got in trouble because I kind of said, it's not my favorite thing. So then Julie Kelly comes on and gave me the indication that Trump just sort of said, the heck with it, pardon them all. Right? Yes. Pardon them all. So I said that. Well, this annoying caller calls in from Minnesota. And somehow the annoying ones often come from Minnesota.
I think it's because I don't know.
It's a blue state, I don't know. So Mike from Minnesota said, you're not giving the correct information to your audience, Mike Gallagher. He did. He commuted some of the sentences. And I said, no, he didn't. And yes, he did. No, he didn't. Yes, he did. Well, sure enough. I mean, did you know there were some commutations in there?
I mean, sure. It was a big mixture out of 1,500 people.
Well, no, it wasn't a big mixture. Do you know how many there were? Do you know?
1,100.
Oh, you're close. Good for you. 14. See how smart you are? I didn't think there were any. So then I had to apologize, and Mike Gallagher being Mike Gallagher, I apologized over the top. We sang along with Brenda Lee's "I'm sorry, so sorry," but it's true. But I blame the computers. I blame the setup in the studio.
The tab system ill-served you.
I was distracted, and it isn't fair. But now I'm back on my A game. I'm used to it. I'm using tabs on my one laptop.
There you go.
Praise the Lord. And hey, I got a lightning rod stuff I want to ask you about. Do you mind? This is the first week of the Golden Age. This is the first week. We're ending up this wonderful, glorious week. We started in Washington. Here we are back in the home base. So let me do a lightning rod of a bunch of things with you. Vivek Ramaswamy.
Yes.
What happened to Vivek?
He's bowing out of DOGE. It was going to be Elon and Vivek, and he all of a sudden says, no, Elon will do fine. I'm stepping away. The buzz for a couple of days was that it was to run for governor of Ohio, which I think would be awesome, but and God bless governor of any big important state. It doesn't seem like the most riveting and compelling thing for a personality as big and a national figure as big as Vivek. So I don't know. What do you think?
I think he got in trouble because of that interview he gave where he talked about other workers, the H-1 visa, that whole thing. And because it was after that he sort of fell out of the spotlight. Look, there's no way he's saying, I'm going to leave the Trump administration to mull a run for Ohio governor. Come on. No, there's more to that story. So, all right, turn the page.
Who got frosted? Who did Elon? Trump? Who found?
Well, I think Trump did. I think Trump said, I don't want that kind of fallout already. I don't know. Trump is funny about this. He doesn't like people grabbing the spotlight away or making headlines unless he's sort of, large and in charge. I mean, and there's no question he's the boss.
One of my favorite things is, and this is largely a hater narrative, is that J.D. Vance is just so doggone awesome that he will start to grate on Trump before too much longer. I don't believe
Well,
that for a minute.
And I don't believe it either. But Elon is going to be an interesting. That was the other thing I wanted to ask you about in our lightning rod here on a Friday. Our lightning round, I should say.
Don't you?
I know I did. Okay, it's the computers. I'm still learning the tabs. Let me change my tab here on my MacBook, my lone little MacBook. All right. How about Elon kind of contradicting Trump this week about the artificial intelligence AI infrastructure bill? Did you see that? Elon tweeted out, well, the money isn't there. Well, the money is there. They just got $500 billion from Saudi Arabia. So, look, you got two A personalities. There's been a lot of speculation that they're gonna clash at some point. And I don't like Elon contradicting Trump. Trump stands up there and gives a press conference with Ellison and all these other guys, and then Elon turns around and says, well, the money's not there. It's not that big a deal. You don't tell the boss who thinks it's a big deal it's not a big deal.
But Elon does not view Trump as the boss. So you got
that's what. Okay, Daily Beast.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't.
You're right.
I think Elon views himself as a private sector partner with Trump, and by the way, Trump is fine with most days. I'd like to think that everybody gets over it now, because I would have also liked to think that if Vivek, for those that don't know, Vivek came out with the H-1B visas and said, listen, part of the reason we do kind of really need top flight talent from around the world is that American pipelines for STEM, for science and engineering and math, just aren't filled with enough talent. There aren't enough people in America interested in the discipline and the devotion to excellence to do that. And by the way, he's not totally wrong about that. But but about that, I feel about that the way I do about other things. Give Americans the chance and the motivation, and let's see how many Americans we can find. And I think we'll find enough.
Well, I'm going to give some unsolicited advice to Elon Musk. If he doesn't really think Donald Trump is the boss, reconsider your thinking, because he is the boss. Refocus, and you need to pivot. All right, now how about another one? How about Trump ordering the declassification of the JFK, RFK, MLK files? Now, my kid calls me yesterday, my MAGA son. He said, Dad, what do you think? This is going to be big. This is going to be huge. And why do I think it's not going to be that big a deal?
Because it's not.
Do you?
Because it's
you agree?
Not. It's okay. First of all, do I like it? Sure. Declassify everything that doesn't need to be classified.
You bet.
I think there's a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy folks who and by the way, who are not always wrong, that from the JFK, especially the JFK, to the RFK, Bob, and this is so weird. This was in our youth. These three massive historic assassinations took place within 4.5 years. It's incredible to remember the turmoil caused by that, from JFK to Bobby Kennedy to Dr. King. And around all of those, there's going to be the supposition that there's all kinds of things that we just don't know, which, by the way, is probably true. Will we ever know? I don't know. But the notion that the opening of these files will somehow yield some bombshell, I'm going to join you in betting not. But if it does, we'll talk about it.
Well, let's let the game come to us, as you like to say. You know, the big conspiracy theory about that day in Dallas from people these days, they think that it's going to be revealed that the driver of the limousine shot him. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to say, if the driver of JFK's vehicle turned around and shot him, somebody might have noticed that.
I have a feeling Abraham Zapruder's camera might have picked that up.
Well, but that's what they're using. They're using the Zapruder film, and they're like freeze framing it. And the driver, what the driver did was look back when the poor man's head came off. You know, I mean, everybody was looking back, but I mean, that's the theory. All right, so anyhow, turn the page on that. How about this one?
Okay, he's not done. You know what? While we're in conspiracy land, I
got a whole list for you. I got a list.
Can I wrestle one and go from things of enormous historical import to things that are just kind of silly? The conspiracy thing of the week surrounding why we haven't seen a lot of Michelle Obama. Have you heard this one?
I have. The marriage is on the outs,
because
and
Barack is about to take up with
Jennifer Aniston. Okay, didn't have that on my bingo card.
I didn't either. And we're in an era when nothing can be dismissed and almost nothing can be said as a zero possibility. But just to keep everybody's mental health, put a pin in that. There's zero reason to believe that's true. Absolutely zero reason. So put a pin in it until there's maybe a reason, until they're seen together shopping on Rodeo Drive. But until then, so anyway.
Well, you never look. As I always say, if winged monkeys swept down and flew me away, I wouldn't be surprised about the things that happen in this crazy world of ours.
Back to your list. What else you got?
Lightning rod or round.
That's right.
Representative Andy Ogles from Tennessee has drafted a constitutional amendment that would allow President Trump to run for a third term. However, here's the best part. Here's the best part of this goofy story. Here's the funniest part of it. And incidentally, I'm all in.
He'll outlive all of us. He'll be 107 going, I'm ready for 5 more. I'm ready. Let's go.
I know.
Let's do it.
Well, he's not going. I mean, he's the only 70-something-year-old that's going in the opposite direction of age. He's younger now. He looks younger now than he did 10 years ago. I mean, the man goes from morning till night. And, however, the measure is worded to prevent Barack Obama, George W. Bush, or Bill Clinton from being able to return.
How do you do that?
Though it's the way it's worded. No person since Obama, Bush. It's only for presidents who didn't serve 2 consecutive terms.
Okay, gotcha.
So,
all right.
So, okay, but hey, what the heck? A man can dream. And then finally, on a serious note, Ken Paxton announced that the states have reached a settlement with the dreaded Sackler family of Purdue Pharma. $7.4 billion. And everybody wants to vilify this family that owns the pharmaceutical company. And Mark, am I the only person that struggles with the fact, okay, they own a pharmaceutical company. Pharmaceutical company comes up with pain relief, drugs. People take pain relief drugs. People start abusing pain relief drugs. Maybe physicians abuse the dispensing of the prescriptions. But why is that the manufacturer's fault?
Like blaming the bartender for drunk driving, all right, which is a bad analogy, but you're 100% correct. Now, here's the thing.
You agree with me?
Yeah, I do. And it comes under the big heading that we often revisit of multiple things being true at the same time. Thank God for Big Pharma, for the pain they relieve, the cures they offer, the health that they improve for millions of Americans. But is there also some greed and some avarice and some malfeasance in the corporate world of Big Pharma? Absolutely. So
of course,
juggle both of those. They're both true.
And 2 things can be true at once. I love Ken Paxton. I love me some Paxton, but he has been a leader in going after companies like Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, and it's not just him. Attorneys general from 14 states have lined up. I think they just go after the deepest pockets. They say, okay, we got an opioid crisis. It must be, Walmart's fault. How's it Walmart's fault?
Easy whipping boy.
It's an easy, but I could be all wet on this. So
well, listen, let me give you you just did something. I'll tell you what, you may have a tough time grasping lightning rod and lightning round, but look at Mike.
On the lightning rod.
Look at Mike properly identifying the plural of attorneys general, mothers-in-law, courts martial, and attorneys general. Look at you. Honoring the language.
I may not know the difference between a pardon and a commutation, but I know my attorneys general. And incidentally, as if my life isn't bad enough with these stupid new computer, I have another sty on my eye. I get these things like 3 or 4 times a year. The older I get, you ever get these things?
Was it like conjunctivitis or some such?
Well, it's like on your eyelid. I keep getting them, and everybody says put a warm compress on your eye.
Yeah, well, that's great for the Salem News Channel. What's wrong with Mike getting a shot? It's like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing, and I've got another one today, and I wake up, and I'm like, I think it's the way I sleep, because I sleep on my right side, and I think the pillow goes into my right eye, and I think I'm infecting my pillow. My eyelid.
Plug something that I'm going to do in the next hour that's a focus. I don't pretend that all the TV assignment editors listen to us, even though they do. Channel 8 went and did a big happy visit to the Hive Bakery in Flower Mound last night.
You're kidding?
Yep, they sure did. So
they should have interviewed you. They should have done that. Come over. Yeah, but I'll bet that went well because she sounds normal. She seems real nice.
And what do you think? And one of their big things there at the liberal Hive Bakery. And it's fine that there's a liberal bakery. We don't care. But she's just so mean, so nasty. Guess what? One of the big cookies is somebody's face on a cookie is a huge seller. Guess whose?
Oh, the Bishop.
Bingo! The Bishop cookies are a big seller. Bishop
they love her.
Booty.
Oh, yeah, they love her. I would like to hear how that report went. I can hear the reporter now. We're going into the Hive Bakery. Look, here's the owner. Get out! He's in the house. Beelzebub. Yeah, I'd like to see that report.
Like that. All right, man.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Mike is ready today at 10. As soon as we're done. 6:60 a.m. The Answer.